Hello, dear friends. It's Eloise here. Today is a difficult day. Like many of you, I'm still in shock and heartbreak over the tragic news of Charlie Kirk's passing. He was a voice of courage, of conviction, and of faith, a light in a very dark world. As someone who listened to him, prayed alongside his messages, and admired his boldness, I felt compelled to share this tribute from the depths of my heart. This isn't just about politics. This is about purpose. About a man who stood boldly for what he believed in and paid the ultimate price. I invite you to pause with me now. Let's honor Charlie's life, pray for his family, and remember that the torch he carried doesn't go out with him, it passes to us. Let's begin. Today, I write through tears. My heart is heavy. My spirit is shaken. I never imagined I would listen and see the tragic news that Charlie Kirk, a bold voice in our generation, a man of unwavering conviction, has been taken from us, suddenly, violently, and far too soon. Charlie wasn't just a name in the news. He was a light in the storm, a man who stood firmly in his beliefs, regardless of the cultural currents crashing against him. He was a husband, a father, a friend to many, and a mentor to thousands, even millions, of young people across this nation. He carried the torch of truth and faith into places most feared to go. And now, that torch is in our hands. I saw the video. I still can't shake the image. He was doing what he always did, answering questions, engaging with students, sharing truth under a white tent in Utah. Then, in an instant, he fell. A shot from over 200 yards away ended his life, right there in front of an audience who looked up to him, believed in him, followed him. The sound of horror that followed is forever etched in my memory. Just like that, a voice of courage was silenced. But while the bullet may have stopped his heartbeat, it did not silence his legacy. Charlie Kirk made a difference, and that difference cannot be undone. Charlie lived a life rooted in deep faith. He loved Jesus. He wasn't ashamed to say it. He believed in the power of the gospel to change hearts, nations, and destinies. He often said, "Truth without courage is meaningless." And he lived that out every day, standing on stages, taking hits, being misunderstood, and still showing up with boldness. It takes a certain kind of person to do that. A person with eternity in their eyes. As I sit here reflecting, I'm reminded of Ephesians 6 verse 12. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. This was never just about politics. It was never just about cultural debates. It was about the spiritual war that rages unseen. And Charlie knew that. He fought not just with words, but with prayer, faith, and an unshakable belief in God's purpose for America and for this generation. We may never understand why tragedies like this happen. We may never be able to explain to his children why their daddy isn't coming home. But we do know this. God is still good. God is still on the throne. And Charlie's life was not wasted. To Erica, his wife, I cannot imagine your pain. To his children, may you grow up knowing the world mourned your daddy because he stood for what mattered. He stood when others bowed. He spoke when others stayed silent. And above all, he loved deeply. He loved you. He loved truth. He loved Jesus. Charlie wasn't perfect. None of us are. But he was obedient. He said yes to a calling that required courage. He said yes to a path that demanded sacrifice. He said yes to standing in the fire, and he never backed down. He was often misunderstood, even hated. But isn't that what Jesus said would happen? In John 15 verse 18, Jesus warned us, "If the world hates you, keep in mind that it hated me first." Charlie knew that, and still he pressed on. He reminded us of what it means to be uncompromising in a compromising world. He called us back to the foundations of faith, family, and freedom. And he did it with the kind of intensity that only comes from a deep, burning love for the truth. I think of the prophets in the Old Testament, men who were bold, unafraid, and unfiltered. They weren't always liked, but they were faithful. Charlie was like that, a modern-day voice crying out in the wilderness of this generation. But now he is gone, and that silence is deafening. What do we do when a torchbearer falls? We pick up the torch. We don't let it die out. We don't let fear win. We rise with faith, with love, and with courage that's been tested by fire. Because if Charlie's life taught us anything, it's this. Don't back down from truth. Speak even if your voice shakes. Stand even if you stand alone. Love your family fiercely. Cling to your faith unshakably. To those who followed Charlie, to the young people he mentored, to the hearts he inspired, let this not be the end. Let it be the beginning. Let it be the spark that ignites a generation to rise with righteous conviction and holy courage. Let it birth a movement not of anger, but of bold love and truth-telling grace. Let us not respond with hate, but with holy fire. The kind of fire that spreads light in every dark corner of this nation. Charlie Kirk carried the torch with strength. Now it's our turn. Whether we speak to thousands or whisper truth to one, we carry that same fire. We pray for his family. We pray for our nation. And we pray that the church would awaken with the urgency of this moment. Because evil may have struck, but it will never win. Because light may flicker, but it will never go out. Because one voice may fall, but millions can rise. Thank you, Charlie, for your courage, for your fire, for your faith, for not giving up. We carry the torch now, and we won't let it go out. With love, Eloise. Thank you for joining me in this tribute. My heart is heavy but also stirred, because while we mourn, we also remember and we rise. Charlie Kirk stood boldly for truth, faith, and freedom. And now it's our turn. Our prayers go out to his wife, his children, and everyone feeling this loss deeply today. Let us continue the work, carry the torch, and live with the same unwavering conviction. If this video touched your heart, please share it. Let's fill the world with light in honor of Charlie's legacy. Until next time, keep standing, keep shining, and remember, graceful blessings are still ahead.